Led Zeppelin.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's cock rock.
A little bit weird.
Catalog.
Welcome to the Guardians of the Vinyl Vault. 4 old friends, 1 sacred vault, and a lineup of artists awaiting judgment.
So welcome back to another episode of the podcast that is called Guardians of the Vinyl Vault. This is the podcast in which the four vaulters, originally from the Vinyl Vault, pitch each episode a different person pitches an artist or a band that would go into a mythical vault that would conserve their reputation and their music for all times. Okay, just think of it as a beautiful time zone with it just keeps their music alive, really. With me as usual on the vault, you got Richard Irvine, you got Stephen Moore, and you got Gareth Neal. Good evening, guys. How are you?
Good evening, Rodney.
Good evening.
Right. And of course, there are 3 statuses in the vaults. There is a platinum status, which is almost like godlike genius status, basically. There is the club lounge status, which is basically it's like your sort of standard silver card, BA silver card, basically. And then there is the
whoa! What's BA? I mean, you say you're belying your former life as a high flying executive.
Okay,
of industry. I want to know what a BA silver card is.
Well, the BA silver card got you into the lounge, but you didn't then go into the higher echelons of it, where the better wine was.
So what one did you have then?
I had a gold card. There was actually a diamond after that.
Richard had that.
Where I think all sorts went on. Or the final status, of course, is just banned for life. You're never coming back near the vault ever again. It's my turn tonight, and I'm going with I'm going with a band that is an old faithful, and the band is Led Zeppelin. So I'll take you back to the late 70s. And in the late 70s, I was a kid with little access to music apart from the radio and my eldest sister Linda's record collection, a collection that was upgraded at times by her
I'm
boyfriend.
I'm going to have to stop you here, because we're all the same age as you, and I mean, did the rest of us only have the radio?
Well, at the age of 8,
You had a telly in your house,
huh? But I'm talking about music. There wasn't much music apart from Top of the Pops.
Well, and Q.
Anyway, he's only been good about 10 seconds.
Oh yeah,
Stephen.
sorry. Yeah, you gave me a completely free run.
Let me set the scene, okay? It's
I was there. I was living that scene, Rodney, until he interrupted.
I was
there with you.
He was thinking, oh, is that how the working classes live?
He didn't have a telly.
So small town Downpatrick, and I was sitting there with my sisters who were 10 years older than me, their record collection, and the occasional upgrade that their boyfriend would leave an album. And it was around 1979, and my relationship with Led Zeppelin properly took off. I was ill. I was off school with measles or mumps or something contagious like that, and I had nothing really on the telly to keep me occupied, and my sister's boyfriend went and rented us a VHS video recorder. We didn't have a video recorder, and he brought back just 2 videos from the video shop with the video recorder. One was Faulty Towers, and the other one was Led Zeppelin, The Song Remains the Same, which was the full feature-length film based on a gig at the Madison Square Gardens that was filmed in 1973 over 3 nights. Okay, and the concert was basically shows Led Zeppelin at the peak of their hard rocking glory, in addition to featuring such indelible hits as Dazed and Confused, Whole Lot of Love, and Stairway to Heaven. The live footage is interspersed with an elaborate fantasy sequence. Now, this is the thing. Each artist.
Gareth used to get a lot of videos that had an elaborate fantasy sequence, didn't you, Gareth?
Yeah, but could he reach the top
Whenever he
shelf,
said he brought
Stephen?
home 2 videos, I was waiting to hear what the other video was.
Gareth went into Bobby Hanvey's. Can you direct me to your elaborate fantasy sequence section, please, Bobby?
But so I don't know. I'm not supposing any of you have ever seen this movie, right? But what it did was each of the artists that made up Led Zeppelin took one of the songs that they were synonymous with, and they went into they created footage of like a dream sequence that they were, and they were lost in their fantasy depictions of the tracks. And it was everything from jazz like ad hoc playing. They could also play loose. They could play tight. There was just something creative about Led Zeppelin. And for me, it was the perfect depiction. That movie was the perfect depiction of what a rock band should be. They had jets. They had fast cars. They played life really hard, and they were giants on stage, masters of their craft. Each and every one of them were at the very top of the game. Led Zeppelin are not just made for the vault; they're quite simply the best rock band that there has ever been. Now, let me move on. They're often heralded as the greatest rock band of all time, a title supported by several key aspects of their musical journey and their influence. Their unparalleled contributions to the rock genre is rooted in their unique sound and innovation. So, they brought in different instruments, different ways of playing. They had double guitars. Their drum, they brought drum solo tracks that were like 10 minutes long to album.
God, yes. And I now realize that after doing my research, but that's another story. Carry on.
Yeah, well, John Bonham was the best drummer at all time. Their distinctive sound set them apart from their contemporaries. The band, which was formed in 1968, comprised of Robert Plant on vocals, Jimmy Page on lead guitar, John Paul Jones, who played bass and keyboards, and John Bonham on percussion, not just drums. He was a percussionist, and each of them.
There's a difference apparently, but
There's
also
a huge difference.
I'd like to remind you.
One plays drums, one plays bongos.
That's right, and I'd like to remind you he's now at 1968, and Led Zeppelin didn't break up until about 1980. So I think he's about to break my all-time record of not meeting 4 minutes as I did for.
Well, it sounds, because he speaks quickly. It sounds like it's going quicker.
So there you go.
Right? So
the thing about Zeppelin was it wasn't just one type of genre. They could blend blues, rock, folk, and psychedelica. And the fusion created groundbreaking tracks like Whole Lot of Love, Kashmir, Stairway to Heaven. I mean, everybody knows Stairway to Heaven, which,
those 3 songs you've repeated twice now.
Yeah. We'll come to that later, Gareth. We'll come to that later.
They just
all Gareth wants to know is, did they sell out, and how many very large stadiums did they sell out, Rodney?
They did.
They certainly did.
On those tracks, you had legendary guitar riffs from Jimmy Page. You had John Bonham's thunderous drumming, and Robert Plant's dynamic vocals, and created a sound that was both technically proficient and emotionally riveting. And then John Paul Jones,
ChatGPT.
the steady Eddie.
Will you shut up about ChatGPT?
With just
John Paul
I've never
Jones,
heard him use this language.
The steady Eddie of the band, who could move between playing the bass like a lead guitar to playing whimsical keyboards on tracks. Led Zeppelin's influence extended beyond their music. They transformed the rock concert experience. Known for electrifying performances, they pioneered the concept of stadium rock shows. Their focus on high energy and elaborate concerts set a new standard for live performances. And moreover, the cultural impact has been profound and lasting. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1985, although late, Led Zeppelin's music continues to influence a wide array of genre and artists. Their legacy is evident in the work of many bands that followed, from rock, heavy rock bands and metal bands to hip hop, and even iconic riffs and beats are often sampled. Now, you talk about stats. This band had
Gareth does regularly.
Yeah.
Hit him with some stats, Rodney.
300 million records sold worldwide. It's not only one of the best-selling music artists, but also a band whose albums, such as Led Zeppelin 4, continue to attract new listeners. Their ability to sell out stadiums and arenas was mirrored by their dominance on the charts, with all 9 of their studio albums reaching the top 10 in the UK and many topping the charts in the US. So in conclusion, Led Zeppelin's designated designation as the greatest rock band of all time is well earned through their pioneering sound, their influential live performances, and a legacy that endures more than 5 decades after their formation. Their music not only defined a genre, but also created a cultural phenomenon that continues to inspire and captivate music lovers around the world.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
That was nearly as long as several Led Zepp album tracks.
Well,
That was nearly as long as the drum solo I listened to today.
Mm.
well,
I will.
you listen to Black Dog then, which is an excellent track. Dun, 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 dun.
I will go first on
This
this.
is that one.
I'll go first on this here. So I have known Rodney since he was 3 years old, so a long time. So I know him very well. But I remember he used to come into school and say, I listen to Led Zeppelin. And I used to think, I've known him so long, but he's a little bit weird because no one else in school ever listened to Led Zeppelin. And I'm so glad now. I gave him a Bible on it that he was big into Led
That's
Zeppelin.
such a Belfast comment, isn't it? I'll give him a Bible.
Give him a Bible onto it. But truthfully, I never knew the story of why he got into Led Zeppelin. And then, if you remember, the Far Corporation took Stairway to Heaven into the charts. So they actually appeared on Top of the Pops. And that was my first hearing of Stairway to Heaven, which, to be fair, is a good song, which has been played on Spotify nearly 1.3 billion times. Billion
That's
times. Okay. And I did a bit of research in this here. So I can't bat back any of your stuff because there was supergroup energy, no doubt about that there, and even there, Stephen likes to know what they do outside of rather than create the music. They were certainly iconic in wrecking hotel rooms, etc. They did bring the stadium tour model to place, which is
Gareth, Led Zepp, it has to be said, tick all your boxes. They are the quintessential criteria hitting act for Gareth Neil.
I think there's a but coming.
There's a
yes,
but
I think there's a big but, and I cannot lie.
No. There's a big but. I'm not sure it'll be big enough to, but a number of questions I had whenever I did my research on it was two things I'm going to bring up, which knocks it back a little bit. One, they didn't move at the times. They didn't explore new music. They didn't explore new genres. They blended folk, blues, and rock brilliantly, but they didn't reinvent themselves in later years.
Can I just respond to that? Because do you know what Robert Plant's doing now? He's still
That's
playing.
Robert Plant, not Led Zeppelin.
Yes, but they weren't together that long that they had a chance to actually.
So this is Led Zeppelin going in, not Robert Plant.
No, I understand.
And your argument falls down if you're going to go to Robert Plant.
No. What I'm saying is they didn't have long enough to actually make the transition into some other area. And what would and then also, actually, if you listen to some of the albums, there's a lot of orchestration. There's a lot of change. I mean, the very fact Stairway to Heaven itself is a completely redefinition of songs like rock and roll from the early albums.
Again, you're focusing on one song.
Yeah, it's a bit like Bohemian. It's a bit like Bohemian Rhapsody, as it's got several little things going on there, but you can't compare Led Zeppelin to Queen's huge catalog.
I don't think anybody has.
No. But
Richard, you can't say the Queen and Led Zeppelin are in the same zone.
Oh, absolutely not. Queen are way above them.
What?
Yeah, they are. I agree.
Absolutely.
I do agree with Richard.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
But
sorry,
anyway,
you guys
because I could sit down now and I could reel off 20 Queen. Gareth, I could reel off 20 Queen.
I'll tell you what there is, and I'm going to join in here.
No, 2 seconds.
There's a lot of finger waving going on.
There is. And
Let's
the
put those fingers down.
The last thing which knocks it back is the plagiarism shadow that overhangs Led Zeppelin, including sometimes that has been legally challenged. And that is a big thing for me.
Tell you
And
what,
I'm
he's done his
hoping,
research here,
Rodney,
hasn't
that
he?
you will be able to come back on that.
Well, explain the plagiarism.
No, they were challenged for Stairway, I believe, and they won the case, but it was, I think, in today's legal system, they may struggle. But anyway,
yeah,
I've listened to them a little bit, and because I'm thinking, have I missed something here? I've always thought I missed something, and I thought about this when it came to Pink Floyd. By the way,
yeah,
Pink Floyd passed me by at the time, but I've grown to really, really like Pink Floyd and David Gilmour. By the way, because I think some of the albums are like experiences to listen to. However, of course, I like Rodney and I love Rodney, and I wanted to give Led Zeppelin a fair chance. So I've listened to some Led Zeppelin this week, and a whole lot of love because we all remember that. So, listen, I'll give you. It's one of the best guitar hooks ever, right?
Yeah.
Of course, we knew it a lot from Top of the Pops. Yeah. No, and then a whole lot of love, and then I listened to a song called Rock and Roll or something.
Yeah, Rock and Roll,
which reminded me a bit like yeah, and you know, Status Quo. It reminded me of, and then 1 minute I think then 1 minute I'm thinking some of their folky stuff sounds like Simon and Garfunkel or Rolling Stones, but not as quite as good Rolling Stones. And this is what my problem is with Led Zeppelin.
Sorry, are you suggesting the Status Quo that Led Zeppelin copied?
No, I'm not. But they were after.
It seemed to remind me a bit of that, and sometimes when they were trying to be all folky, I was just thinking, I want to enjoy this. I want to try. Yes, there's a couple of good songs, and then I just thought, God, this is, you know, when you used to go to as a teenager, going to shops that sold secondhand jeans and secondhand leather jackets and had that fusty smell. You just think they'd probably be playing Led Zeppelin, and I just thinking there is a good reason why I don't really like Led Zeppelin that much is because I just don't really enjoy it. I'm trying to enjoy it, and I want to enjoy it for Rodney, but give me right. I'll give you another iconic 70s rock band, Rainbow. Now, I borrowed that best of Rainbow off Liam Laverty, I think, who lived up the road.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved the melodies. Since you've been gone, I surrender. And all these cracking melodies. No, listen. Which had
I've been listening for a while.
Brilliant guitar and everything, and rock. But I preferred, I know what you're going to say, but I preferred that kind of melody kind of rock.
So maybe
White Snake, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC.
Sorry, but you're talking about bands that are all a generation after Led Zeppelin, and those bands would not have been around.
I know
if it wasn't for Led Zeppelin.
And did you not? Wait a minute, I've been very quiet so far.
Rodney just said they wouldn't be around unless Led Zeppelin would be there. I don't think that's
so Richard, just trying to counter Richard's argument there. So Richard's argument seemed to culminate in fusty jeans. So were White Snakes and Rainbow's jeans perhaps freshly laundered, and therefore they were slightly more appealing?
Sponsored by Purcell, actually, Stephen. They were sponsored by Purcell.
I just think with going back to Rodney's 2 video that he lent there, I think 40 Towers is a lot more memorable than Led Zeppelin.
Okay, so let's
because I'm a huge 40. I would have been talking more about 40 Towers than that. God knows what it was called. Album. But by the way, that film that no one else has seen apart from you.
Gareth, if we had a comedy or TV vault, Gareth would never let Faulty Towers in on the grounds that there was only 2 series. So there we go.
2
you talking?
Okay, Stephen, let's go. Let Stephen go now.
Can I just mention we're talking about the vault at the peak level being about godlike status, right? I'll tell you now, I not that I ever had the benefit of meeting any member of Led Zeppelin, but when Robert Plant would walk in and the way he would be standing, and Jimmy Page, the way they'd be standing, I have absolutely no doubt that you would be under no doubt yourself they are proper rock stars because
Jimmy Page, I have to agree, is probably it sounds like he's one of the best guitarists ever. The thing I've got with Robert Plant's voice as well, the voice doesn't really do it for me. Yes, he can scream and he can and he can hit those notes, but it just doesn't. It leaves me a bit cold. Rodney. I'm sorry, it just does.
Cold.
It just doesn't do it for me. Stairway. I remember in Wayne's World where that great scene where they go into the guitar shop and there's a little sign going "No stairway" because obviously people just go.
But you know, there's songs like "Houses of the Holy." Let me take you to the movies, and it's not. It's totally different sort of song. And the album "Physical Graffiti" is just an unbelievable body of work. He's not just about Stairway. Stairway is an iconic song, but there's so many better songs.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And also subject to a lawsuit because the intro was stolen. But anyway, Stephen, let's see what
Stephen, because Stephen, I think, has also been hypnotized by Rodney.
Thank you, Gareth. Thank you, Richie.
Keep him quiet for once.
I did you marvelously well. So Gareth, despite the fact that Led Zeppelin hit every single marker, every single criteria he has argued for in every single Guardians of the Vinyl Vault episode so far in terms of album sales.
I haven't given my opinion yet.
Gareth, you give me the opportunity. I am now going to take it. So, despite the fact that they hit every single criteria that he has mentioned so far, he still seems to be anti because of a plagiarism lawsuit, which Led Zeppelin won.
No, I know.
Well, Richard told us that they won it.
They did win it. Yeah.
No, they did. No, so coming on, you are assuming I'm saying no.
Yes, well, I'm getting that distinct vibe.
Okay,
is what I'm getting.
You could be wrong.
And Richard's argument seems to be mostly centered around the use or not of a fabric conditioner, which is, if that's a criteria he wants to use, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Tell us what you think.
Robert Page, I think Robert Page is a.
You mean Robert Plant?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I did.
Yeah, exactly.
See what I've done there? See what I've done there? I've mixed them both up.
No, your research is good.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, Robert Plant is a cracking chap. Seems to be the sort of chap you'd love to have a couple of pints, probably of cider down the local and hear his stories. Great conversationalist. Big Wolves fan, of course.
Yes.
Lovely fella.
Can I bring you back to the music? Can I bring you back to his voice?
Hopefully you're not going to go the flowery stuff. We're going to be
It's not all about the music.
I'm looking forward to hearing what
about other things as well.
We talk about music.
And certainly huge rock stars, marvelous musicians. You cannot fault their technical expertise. And all of them, apart from John Bonham, who died very young, they've all gone on to great and illustrious careers. Definitely huge rock stars. But I'm sorry, Rodney, it's cock rock. I'm jumping in with Richard here for actually very similar reasons. There are 3 or 4 bands. Cock rock. There are 3 or 4 bands, and I'm not going to name them all because just in case they might come up in later episodes. But certainly Richard named one of them in Pink Floyd that I should admire, love, get into, but they leave me cold for whatever reason. And I'm afraid, Rodney, Led Zepp's one of them.
Can I just
do it for me?
I tried, Rodney. I tried.
There's a couple of songs, chief among them, Ramble On. I love Ramble On as a song.
Ramble on. Down now.
But the rest of it, it's just
that does not help.
It's just sweaty, positing, arms aloft. There's a lot of posing going on.
Is that not Morrissey? Or arms in the air that we don't care.
You voted for Morrissey, by the way, just as you just.
And I'm going to bring in a story which because I did some research. Remember, Gareth, a bit like yourself.
Yeah.
A story that probably might bring a little tear to Rodney's eye, actually, because
Was
They
a
also
sad,
are
sad one, is it?
infamous for giving one of the most disappointing Live Aid performances, by the way.
Yeah.
That came up in my research to the point where
Yes,
they were
yes.
they hated it so much, they tried to blame Phil Collins, who was playing drums as
Drums
well
for
as
them.
another drummer.
Drums for them. Yeah.
They turned up unrehearsed. Jimmy Page's guitar apparently was not in tune. He wasn't in tune as the vocalist. They couldn't hear each other. It was totally farcical, apparently, even though it didn't sound that bad when I watched it on YouTube. Um, that they said that they didn't want to be on the live DVD, and they all admitted that it was an horrendous part of their career, that they hated that 23 minutes of Live Aid. So again, we're talking about, I mentioned Queen, U2, people that could have, I
Simple
think, helped.
Minds, Duran
That could
Duran.
have helped Led Zeppelin cement their, listen, this is why everyone cherishes us. But I actually didn't even remember that they played at Live Aid until I did that research today.
And
No,
also,
And the reason
I think it needs to go on record. Gareth did for the. I think this is episode. Is this episode 7?
they played in Philadelphia,
And
by the
no,
way, Rodney.
Gareth did mention Duran Duran again, so that's all episodes, including the Duran Duran episode. But he's mentioned it in the 6 other
So
episodes.
can I give you some more stats, because I've got them here, right? So you guys are pretty much going to put them into the vault maybe, but not a godlike status. And this is a band in 12 years that did 9 studio albums, 4 live albums, 10 compilation albums, 19 singles, 16 music videos, and sold over 300 million records worldwide. Okay, and they're the 40th greatest artist of all time on Billboard, the 11th most successful artist on the Billboard 300, and the band has scored 7 number 1 albums in the Billboard 200, sold 112.5 million certified albums in the US alone, which has become the 5th best-selling album artist in the history of the Billboard. You're going to not put them
I just
into
don't get it.
Yes, but Rodney,
I don't get it.
all of that argument you've just given is designed to persuade Gareth. But Gareth has decided because of a successful, or rather, no, a failed plagiarism lawsuit by somebody else, he's not going to go for it.
No,
Gareth will.
I'll
Gareth
go with
will
my
use his
opinion.
criteria
I know that
as
you
it
tried
suits
to
him.
Mystic Meg on my whether I'm going to put it in or not. If you ask me this here, they do hit all the stats, and I do like the stats. And under my own criteria, they do hit it. In relation to the music, I only like one song, Stairway to Heaven. The plagiarism disappointed me. But if I have to go, what should be?
You sounded like your mum when you came home and you did something.
Disappointed.
Very disappointed.
Very disappointed. So unfortunately, because of the stats provided, and I have to stick by my moral principles, then I will have to give it the platinum.
Yes. Well done, Gareth. Well done.
Oh!
Thank you. The world will thank you.
Only because of stats. Only because of stats. And stats don't lie.
So you don't like. So let's
don't
just
like it. No, don't like them.
So you don't like it.
No.
It does nothing for you.
No, but as the guardian of the vault whenever I look at the stats, 1.3 billion plays, all the albums, the sellout tours, etc. I did think Rodney was a bit of a weirdo. Don't get me wrong with that there. On it, it does hit the things why it should get in. I'm hoping you two knock it for 6 and don't let it in to tell you the truth. If the truth may be totally told in this here.
So are you fixed on this criteria?
I think we've got to define.
No, well, I've said to you before. I'm going for my own criteria. You can do whatever you like.
You just said you only like one song and you've given it platinum.
And so what is my option?
A club. I thought you were going to say club. After all that, but you've said it. You've said it now. You can't backtrack.
But I can't knock it back.
I take it, Rodney. You're going for platinum along with along with
Oh, God.
along with the Malone Roads favorite rocker, rock on.
I don't like the music, but a lot of people out there must.
There you go, and that's what you call somebody who is a proper guardian of the vault. He doesn't do it just for himself. He does it for
he'll be down the Heart Bar Friday night. A pair of his paddle socks, sports socks, shoved down the front pickleball, shoved down the front of his tight denim jeans, going, all right, ladies, do you want to come back and listen to me Led Zeppelin 2 album?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, what rubbish titles they had as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why couldn't they come up with something like a proper title?
They were the accountant's dream, weren't they, Richard?
Right, okay, Richard. What are you saying?
Listen,
I think he could be changed.
No,
Richard,
right,
you could avoid the ambiguity of them not going in now but going in later. You could just, that
right. I've tried.
Do you want me to make it? Do you want me to make it?
No, listen. I've tried to listen to it, and I like bits.
You can be a soulless accountant like Gareth, who basically goes on the hard data and facts, or you can be. You can go from the heart like I am, because I'm going to tell you now. For me, they're not getting in. They're banned for life for me.
Yeah. What, Stephen Moore? Oh, for God's sake! You're just doing that out of badness. That's all you're doing. How could you ban Led Zeppelin for life?
While Gareth has his plus column going, broke America, played several big stadiums. Called their albums after numbers. Great, like that. I'm just going. They don't move me in any way, apart from maybe 1 or 2 songs.
Listen, if I was on the door of the vault, I'd say, right, listen, okay, if you just want to come in to look for your friend, and you come back in 2 minutes, just because you're saying you're sharing a taxi with them, but if you're not back in here, like, we'll send the bouncers after you. That's I might, but really, I'm saying you can't get in. And I'm sorry to say that, Rob, because I know you cherish them. However, that kind of hook has been in my head a lot. Even I've been humming it in the car. But I think that's also because I love Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I liked it because I liked the actual song. You only ever listen to that bit in Top of the Pops. When you listen to the song now and you hear him singing it, it's doing nothing for me. Even Stairway. Listen, I'd hardly listen to Stairway.
Stairway to Heaven's awful.
Listen,
it's dreadful.
It's only I only liked it because I liked Wayne's World, and of course there was a great gag about it in Wayne's World. But compared to some of the other people I've mentioned, I'm sorry, if there's going to be rock stars in the vault,
well, you would rather have what, like Meatloaf or Iron Maiden or
not Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden leave me the very similar coldness.
No, people like awful. They're bloody awful.
Yeah, people like them at school, but they would fill out stadiums, and they have sold millions of albums. But all I can remember is the number of the beast. And anyway, that's another band.
Well, let's not talk about Iron Maiden, because Gareth could well be proposing Iron Maiden next time round.
No. I mean, I'm just gonna.
And I'm sorry, Rodney, but this has finished rather nicely, as the fact that me and Stephen have said you're not coming in. You pair have gone all goo goo gaga.
Well, I don't.
So this sets it up perfectly for this blue sky poll thing, hasn't it?
Well, it has, but Gareth has, unfortunately for Gareth, become the victim of his own extremely tight, inflexible criteria.
Stephen, he's consistent at least.
But I'm going to add to my criteria going forward, whether I like them or not.
Well, why not do it now then, Gareth? It's not too late. Can we beckon you?
It is too late. It is too late. And the one thing I want to note was Rodney is so surprised you've gone heavily against him. that Amy
I know that could be a disaster.
Would never have got in.
That could be a disaster, couldn't it? For future episodes,
Stephen, my memory might be poor, but it's not going to be that poor. I'll tell you. I got to write a big bloody note in front of my computer. Do not back Mersey anymore.
Richard, do you know what the thing is?
Listen, I listened to bands. I like Blondie in the late 70s. I was listening to people like Blondie, people with songs and melody. Yeah. Led Zeppelin. There's a reason why I wasn't listening to Led Zeppelin.
But this is not about your personal choice. You're doing
it. Is exactly about our personal choice.
No, but you're doing this.
I know you liked Prince. I know you would have hummed along to Duran Duran, but I've tried to listen to Led Zeppelin, and there's a few songs that I thought were good. But then that drum solo, I was listening to a song today, and the drums kept going and going and going. I thought, my God, this is a whole track. This is what you expect when you go to a concert. Sometimes we've all been there when the vocalist has a rest, goes off stage for a bit. The drummer plays for a bit, doesn't he? You think, oh, that's good. It's a kind of part of the atmosphere. I don't expect to listen to it on an album for 10 minutes.
The difficulty, Rodney, is you did not hypnotize the two boys the way Stephen hypnotizes you.
That's it.
With the flory language.
Don't look in the eyes, look around.
I felt sorry for you. I felt sorry for you sitting at home with those two videos, but I would have ditched the Led and just watched Fawlty Towers on repeat.
Well, Richard Gareth's going to have to spend a long time giving himself a long, hard look at him. Maybe he can on his spreadsheet of Vinyl Vault, he can just put a little column in that says, I actually like them?
No, I am putting that in.
I think you need to.
Tell you what, that is one of the biggest shocks.
I got caught with my trousers down. That's all I can say.
Oh, I just thought he was. Let's not go there. But I thought he was going to go club. I just can't believe. You'll see my face in that video, YouTube video.
If I could just wrap up, I'd like to say to Robert, to Jimmy, and to John Paul Jones.
And Robert Page as well.
Robert Page as well.
He was good, wasn't he? Big Wolves fan, apparently.
So, Robert, Jimmy, and John Paul, I apologize on behalf of my fellow vaulters because they know not what they are doing. But apart from Gareth, he has saved us. And it's now down to the people of Blue Sky to vote.
Yet another Blue Sky vote.
Talking of blue, when you watch that notoriously bad Led Zeppelin Live Aid, Robert Plant's wearing the most awful blue shirt.
Oh goodness, that should be ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Check it. He also deserves. He would not get into my club wearing that blue shirt. Check it out.
He can pull it off. That man can pull off anything. I'll tell you. You're talking rock god. I mean, I would just love. If you walked into the room, those guys would you would feel the aura of them walking through the door. Honest to goodness.
No wonder you were hypnotized.
Or in Richard's case, apparently you'd smell the aura from their jeans that hadn't been laundered for quite some weeks.
Well, there you go. Anyway, I got to rock and roll and go and climb the stairway to heaven home. That's another episode of Guardians of the Vinyl Vault. I appeal to you listeners and watchers and followers, do the right thing. Put Led Zeppelin into the top class, please. That would be just lovely. Platinum all the way. Right, guys, I can't say it's been pleasurable. It's been painful, but it's been nice to see you as always. And Gareth Neal, I won't forget this, mate. Thank you. Bye-bye.